Hey, what's going on, everybody? Tommy Star here. Thank you for clicking on this video, and welcome to part 2 of my 2024 complete movie collection series. Well, welcome back to the channel, everybody. So happy you could join me here today. So it's been a few weeks since I kicked off this new movie collection series for 2024. I started with my Dreamworks collection. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll put it down in the description box for you to check out. But today we are doing part 2, which is probably one of my most anticipated videos, my Steelbook collection. It has been over 5 years since I did my last Steelbook video, and in that time, it has obviously grown tremendously, and I'm very excited to share this collection with you. So considering how big this collection has become, I am not going to be showing the entire Steelbook, like back, spine, inside. That could take a really long time. I'm just going to do what I always do, pull each one off the shelf, show you the cover, and move on. So if there's anything in particular in this collection you want to see in more detail, just let me know down in the comments. So like the rest of my collection, my Steelbooks are kind of scattered around the house in different sections. We are going to start upstairs with my A to Z Steelbooks. Then we'll move downstairs and do DC Marvel, move on to horror, and then end with the boutique Steelbooks. So with all that being said, let's get started. My complete Steelbook collection. Finally, I'm excited. Let's do this. All right, here's a quick look at the A to Z Steelbook shelf. Now, I do have my Disney and Dreamworks Steelbooks mixed in here because I don't have a ton of those. So we're going to go ahead and start with the box sets up at the top, and then we'll work our way down. Okay, first up, we have Jessa's complete Game of Thrones Steelbook set on 4K. And then next to that, we have Season 1 of House of the Dragon on 4K, which is a prequel series to Game of Thrones. Then I have the Indiana Jones Steelbook set on 4K, the first 4 movies. We have the Back to the Future 4K Steelbook set. This one is so cool. As you can see here, you put them all together and they create the car. That's just awesome. Then we have the Rambo 4K Steelbook set, all 5 movies. This came from Target. You get Terminator 2 Judgment Day and Total Recall. Kind of cool. This I got from Zavi years ago. It's one of their Titans of Cult collector's set for the Goonies. Jessa's Hunger Games Steelbook collection on 4K, followed by the new film, Songbirds and Snakes. And then my complete Harry Potter collection Steelbook set on Blu-ray. I really want to get this set on 4K. They do have that. It's kind of spendy. Hopefully one day I can find it, but for now, I'm happy with this set. All right, now getting into the individual Steelbooks. Now, as we go along in this collection, I'm not going to remember exactly where I got every one of these, whether they're US or a different region Steelbook, whether they're Blu-ray or 4K, but I'll do my best. First up, we have 8 Mile. And I do keep my Steelbooks in these nice plastic cases, unless they have a plastic slipcover. So we might have a little bit of glare. I apologize. 1917, pretty sure that's 4K. Airplane, Almost Famous, that's 4K. Animal House on 4K. Apollo 13 on 4K. Armageddon, I got this a really long time ago. I think that's a different region. Pretty cool Steelbook. Backdraft. Back to the Future Trilogy. Better Off Dead. Big, really cool Steelbook. Big Hero 6. The Big Lebowski. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And another Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. This I got from Studio Canal. It is 4K. Blues Brothers. Blues Brothers on 4K. Bohemian Rhapsody on 4K. Love that Steelbook. The Bourne Identity. Boys in the Hood. The Breakfast Club. Captain Phillips. Casino. Casino on 4K. Casper. Catch Me If You Can. The original Christmas Specials collection. You get 5 movies in here. A Christmas Story. Christmas Vacation, Cliffhanger on 4K, Clueless, Coming to America on 4K, Commando, Crank on 4K, The Dark Crystal on 4K, Dick Tracy, Die Hard, Dirty Dancing. This was a Target exclusive, I think. And then Dirty Dancing on 4K. I believe that was Best Buy. The Doors, Dread on 4K. Dumb and Dumber, I think I got that from Zavi. Elf, The Equalizer, E.T., then all the Expendables 4K Steelbooks, Part 1. It's getting kind of hard down here. Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4. Then we have Face Off. Boy, that's a bad glare, I'm sorry. The original Fast and the Furious. Down to the next shelf, we have another Fast and the Furious. This one's on 4K. A couple of Ferris Bueller's Day Off Steelbooks. We got Field of Dreams on 4K. The Fifth Element. First Blood. Flight of the Navigator. This is a different region, I believe. A couple of Forrest Gumps here. I think one of these are 4K. Maybe this one. Free Guy on 4K. Full Metal Jacket on 4K. Galaxy Quest. The Gambler. The Game. Ghost in the Shell. Gladiator on 4K. The Godfather. Good Burger. It's a cool one. Goodfellas. I believe this was 4K. Then a bunch of Goonies Steelbooks here. This one is definitely my favorite. I love that one. Love the art. And I think one of these are 4K. Probably this one. Then some Grease Steelbooks. We have the first one on 4K. And then we have Part 2. That's just Blu-ray. And then this collection, you get 1, 2, and the Broadway one. Green Mile. Green Mile on 4K. I turned the flash on. Hopefully it helps with the glare. Groundhog Day on 4K. The Hangover. Heat on 4K. Heavy Metal. Hellboy. Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. Hell or High Water on 4K. The Hitman's Bodyguard. The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Got the first Hobbit movie, An Unexpected Journey. Hocus Pocus. Love that one. Hocus Pocus, I believe, on 4K. Then my Home Alone Steelbooks. This is a cool one. I believe that's 4K. Then Home Alone 1 and 2. And we have Jim Carrey, The Grinch. I believe that's 4K. And then the newer, recent animated Grinch. The first Hunger Games. Inception. Independence Day. Independence Day Resurgence. And then the newest Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny on 4K. I, Robot. Down to the next shelf, we have The Iron Giant. It's a Wonderful Life on 4K. Then we get into my John Wick Steelbooks, Part 1, Part 2, which I believe are both Blu-ray. And then we have Part 3, which is 4K. And Part 4 on 4K. Jumanji on 4K, definitely one of my favorite Steelbooks. Jurassic Park. You'll notice I have a couple of these comic book Steelbooks. They released a whole line of them. I don't have them all. Wish I did, but do have a couple. The Karate Kid. Another Karate Kid. Kickboxer. Then that new Kickboxer Steelbook from Lionsgate. Labyrinth. I believe that's a Mondo Steelbook. Another Labyrinth. Last Action Hero, 4K. The Last Dragon, 4K. Law Abiding Citizen. Les Miserables. I don't think I'll ever know how to say that. Mary Poppins, I think this is 4K. Matilda on 4K. The Matrix. Mean Girls. It's a cool one. Moonfall on 4K. Mortal Kombat 2 film collection. You get the 2 original movies. And then the 4K steelbook for the new Mortal Kombat. The Mummy. The Naked Gun on 4K. Nightmare Before Christmas. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Power Rangers. Pretty in Pink. The Princess Bride. Pulp Fiction. Rad. RoboCop. Rocket Man on 4K. Now we get into my Rocky steelbooks. These are all 4K. Part 1. Part 2. Part 3. And Part 4. And they did just recently announce 5 and 6 are coming to 4K, and we are getting matching steelbooks for these, which I'm so happy about because I just love the art. Now we get into the Creed films, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. I think 2 and 3 are 4K, I can't remember. And then the complete Rocky Collection Blu-ray steelbook that Best Buy put out a really long time ago. Rudy on 4K. The Running Man on 4K. Santa Claus 3 film collection. Sausage Party. Saving Private Ryan. Scarface. School of Rock. Down to the next shelf, we have Scrooged. Serenity. Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption on 4K. Shrek on 4K. I don't know why when they put 2 and 3 out, we didn't get 4K steelbooks for those. Kind of dumb, but... Silent Night on 4K. Snake Eyes on 4K. Some Kind of Wonderful. Spaceballs. This one has to be probably in my top 5 favorite steelbooks. I absolutely love this. We got this many years ago from Best Buy, I believe, and God, such a cool steelbook. Space Jam, and then Space Jam on 4K, and the sequel on 4K, New Legacy. Speed. Speed on 4K. Stand By Me. Some different region steelbook I bought many years ago. And then we have Stand By Me on 4K. A Star Is Born. All right, now we're going to get into all my Star Wars steelbooks. And I'm so happy I was able to get all these over the years. Definitely a favorite section of my collection. But I believe the first 7 episodes are all Blu-ray. And then I think everything after that should be 4K. But we have The Phantom Menace. Attack of the Clones. Revenge of the Sith. A New Hope. The Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Jedi. Force Awakens. And now these should all be 4K. The Last Jedi. The Rise of Skywalker. Then we have Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, which this one actually is Blu-ray, now that I remember. Solo, Star Wars Story. And then we have The Mandalorians, Season 1. Season 2, both on 4K. Street Fighter. Stripes. Super 8, which I believe is 4K. Yeah. Superbad. The Super Mario Brothers movie on 4K. And this one, boy, I got to tell you, when it got released, every one of my Best Buys were completely sold out. And I found a Best Buy over an hour away that had 1 copy left. And I drove all the way out there and picked it up. I was happy at the time, but now a whole bunch have been showing up at Walmart. Annoying. But the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Love this steelbook. I think that's a different region. Then we have the remake and the sequel, Out of the Shadows. And then the new Turtles movie, Mutant Mayhem on 4K. Teen Wolf. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Terminator 2 on 4K. Terminator Genesis. I think this was a Target exclusive back in the day. Titanic, this is a different region. Tommy Boy, cool steelbook. Top Gun. Total Recall. Total Recall on 4K. Total Recall, the remake. Toy Story. Toy Story 2. All right, down to the last shelf. And you'll notice I don't have a lot of Disney steelbooks. I try not to collect them. It's just a can of worms I've never wanted to open because I know me, I would go crazy. But Toy Story is definitely my favorite Disney Pixar franchise, so had to pick up these Best Buy exclusive steelbooks. But part 3, part 4, and then had to get Lightyear, the first Transformers movie, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent on 4K, Universal Soldier, just love all these Lionsgate steelbooks, Vacation on 4K, Walk Hard, Warcraft, Warrior on 4K, Wayne's World, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I think this is another different region steelbook. And then the Best Buy exclusive 4K steelbook that, if I remember right, sold out really quick. So super happy I was able to get a copy of this. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This is 4K. I think I got this from Zavi or something. I can't really remember, but we didn't get a US steelbook for this movie when it got released to 4K. So that's why I picked up this one, but pretty cool. And then the new Wonka, Walmart exclusive 4K steelbook. The Wizard of Oz on 4K. The Wolf of Wall Street, my buddy Craig gave me this. Then we have the Wolf of Wall Street on 4K. Wonder, this is Blu-ray, and I think it was a Target exclusive. And then the last one here, Young Guns on 4K. All right, we've made our way downstairs to the DC Marvel Steelbook collection. Here's just a quick overview, and let's dive in. Okay, we're going to start with the sets again. First up, the Avengers Steelbook collection. Definitely one of my favorites. We'll move down here, and we have the Spider-Man 5-film collection on Blu-ray. You get the 3 Tobey Maguires and then the 2 Andrew Garfield. So bummed out I never got the 4K version of this, but I do have that one, so I'm happy. Then we have the Kingsman Complete Collection on 4K. And then for the DC sets, we have the Tim Burton, Joel Schumacher Batman Steelbook Collection. And then another Titans of Cult from Zavi for the 1989 Batman. All right, starting with the Marvel Cinematic Universe in order of release. We have Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, the First Avenger, The Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home, Black Widow, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. All right, down to the next shelf. And I haven't been mentioning if they're Blu-ray or 4K, but you can clearly see there, so. All right, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Marvels, and then onto the MCU shows. We have Loki Season 1 on 4K, and WandaVision. All right, now we're going to get into the Sony Spider-Verse. We have Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Morbius, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And then we have this cool collection here. You get Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, Into the Spider-Verse, and the first Venom movie. Now we're going to get into the X-Men franchise, again, in order of release. And I think pretty much all of these are Blu-ray, except for some of the last ones that got released. But we have X-Men, X2, X-Men United, X-Men The Last Stand, X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men First Class, The Wolverine, X-Men Days of Future Past, and then my Deadpool 1 Steelbooks. This one I believe I got off of Zabi. I think this one is a 4K. Then we have X-Men Apocalypse, Logan, and then my Deadpool 2s. I think this is 4K. And this I believe I got from Zabi as well. Then we have the New Mutants and Dark Phoenix. All right, now we're going to get into just all the rest of the Marvel movies. So we have Blade on 4K, the most recent Fantastic Four film. Now we're going to look at my Howard the Duck Steelbooks. This one here, I remember paying a pretty penny for on eBay years ago because at the time we had no Howard the Duck Steelbooks in the US and I just had to have it. But yeah, down to the next shelf, a couple more Howard the Duck Steelbooks. This was the first one we got in the US. It was either an FYE exclusive or Best Buy, I can't remember. And then we got the Best Buy exclusive 4K Steelbook, which I absolutely love. The 2003 Hulk, Kick-Ass, Kick-Ass 2, Kingsman the Secret Service, Kingsman the Golden Circle. Now we get into my Men in Black Steelbooks. This one was released a couple years ago from Best Buy. I think this is 4K, but I absolutely love this Steelbook. And then Men in Black 1, 2, 3, and then the most recent one, Men in Black International. And then we have The Punisher on 4K, Punisher Warzone on 4K, and Hulk Versus. All right, now we're going to get into the DC Steelbooks, starting with the DC Extended Universe. We have Man of Steel. We have another Man of Steel. Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. And another Dawn of Justice. Suicide Squad. And another Suicide Squad. Wonder Woman. Justice League. Aquaman. Shazam. Birds of Prey. Wonder Woman 1984. Zack Snyder's Justice League. The Suicide Squad. And down to the final shelf, continuing on with the DC Extended Universe, we have Black Adam, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Now we're going to get into all my Batman Steelbooks. We have the original 1960s movie, and then 1989 Batman. I believe that was an FYE exclusive. Another 1989 Batman, and another 1989 Batman, but the next ones here all match. I'm so happy I was able to find all these. Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. Then the Nolan trilogy, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. And then the 2022 Batman, Joker. And then finishing off with the rest of the DC movies, we have Green Lantern, Superman the movie, Watchmen, and then ending with a few animated films, we have Batman the Killing Joke, Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders, Batman vs. Two-Face, Lego Batman movie, and Batman Beyond, the complete series. All right, now we've made it over to the horror steelbook section, and I recently got this new red shelf. I think it looks pretty cool. So we got a couple of box sets and collector sets on the top, and then we work our way around to the other side, and I got another row of steelbooks with plenty of room for more. So let's get started. All right, starting with the sets on top. First up, we have the Halloween trilogy, This, of course, has 2018 kills and ends. So happy I was able to get my hands on one of these. It is such a cool looking set. Then we have another Titans of Cult from Zavi for the original Halloween. And then I also have this set, which I believe I got from Zavi as well, with It Chapter 1 and 2. Another really cool set. All right, here we go. First up, we have 31. I believe this was a Target exclusive. The Addams Family. The Addams Family on 4K. Alien on 4K. American Psycho on 4K. American Werewolf in London. The Amityville Horror. I believe that's the original. Anaconda. Got a couple Beetlejuice steelbooks here. This one is a different region. It's the first one I ever got. And then this was a Best Buy exclusive, I believe. And then Beetlejuice on 4K. The Birds on 4K. Black Christmas. I believe I bought that from Zavi. The Blair Witch Project. Blair Witch. Then the Blair Witch Project and Blair Witch. This came from Walmart. The Boy. The Butterfly Effect. Definitely one of my favorite steelbooks. The Cabin in the Woods. The New Candyman. I think this was originally a Zavi release, and I missed out on it. And then I found a copy on eBay for a pretty good price. So really happy to have that. The original Carrie. So this was part of that steelbook line Best Buy put out years ago with that Spanish looking art. There was like 20 some releases, I believe. I never did get every single one. I think I'm missing like maybe 4. But as we go along here, you're going to see a lot of these. I think they're really cool. Cat's Eye. Children of the Corn. Child's Play. I think this was originally a Zavi release back in the day. Another Child's Play. Then we have Chucky Season 1. I got this from Zavi. Never did get the steelbook for Season 2 from Zavi. I missed out on that. But I recently found it on Diabolic DVD's website. That should be coming soon, so pretty happy about that. Christine. This is the Blu-ray one. I think the 4K was the exact same art. A Clockwork Orange. Cloverfield. 10 Cloverfield Lane. The Conjuring. Annabelle. Doom. Edward Scissorhands. The Evil Dead. Another Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead Remake. Evil Dead Rise. And then we have this cool Evil Dead 1 and 2 steelbook. The Exorcist. Another Exorcist. Then we have Exorcist Believer. Fall on 4K. Flatliners. The Fly. Another steelbook that's probably in my top 5 favorites. Absolutely love this. It's a different region. Can't remember where I got that, but it is badass. And then another steelbook for The Fly. This is part of that Best Buy steelbook line. Friday the 13th. So, funny story about this one. I bought this from Zavi way back in the day before we ever had any Friday the 13th steelbooks in the U.S., and I just wanted a steelbook for Friday the 13th. And this is so boring, and Jason's on the cover. And I have no idea why, because it's the first movie. But, yeah, kind of a dumb steelbook. Same with this one. Can't remember where I got this, but kind of boring. The original Friday the 13th. I don't know. But now we have the first Friday the 13th that got released in the U.S. Then we have the first one on 4K with this cool slipcover. Then we have part 2, part 3, part 4, the final chapter. And then we have the remake. I think Best Buy put that out. And then we have Friday the 13th 8-movie collection. Really happy to have this steelbook. Hopefully Paramount will continue on releasing these individually like they did with 1 through 4. Hopefully we'll get 5 through 8. Would be cool. Fright Night on 4K. From Hell. Get Out. Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters 2. and Ghostbusters Remake. Really happy to have all three of these matching steelbooks. They are so cool. And then we have Ghostbusters 1 and 2 steelbook. That's a cool one. 1998 Godzilla. And then the, 2014 Godzilla, the most recent one. Godzilla versus Kong. Then we got a bunch of Gremlins steelbooks here. This is a different region one. Pretty cool. We have that one. And this one is 4K. The Guest. Now we're going to get into my Halloween steelbooks. I got a couple. This is the first one I ever got. I bought it from Craig. Really love this one. This was an FYE exclusive, I believe. Okay, onto the bottom shelf. And it's pretty low. It's going to be kind of difficult for me to pull one out at a time. So I grabbed the whole stack, brought it up to the top, and we'll just run through them that way. So continuing on with the Halloween steelbooks. I actually have a lot more than I thought I did. But another original Halloween. I believe this is 4K. Halloween H2O on 4K. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2. This came from Walmart. Halloween 2018 on 4K. Another Halloween 2018 on 4K. Halloween Kills. And Halloween Ends. The Hills Have Eyes Remake. Hollow Man. Hostel. House of a Thousand Corpses. 3 from Hell. And then we have the complete Firefly trilogy. I believe this came from Target. And then another Firefly trilogy that came from Walmart. The Human Centipede complete collection. I Know What You Did Last Summer. And Infinity Pool on 4K. All right, the next stack over. We have Insidious on 4K. The Invisible Man on 4K. Now we're going to get into all my It steelbooks. This is the first one I ever got. It is a different region, and I absolutely love this steelbook. Probably my favorite It steelbook. Really cool shot of Tim Curry on the front there. Then we have another original It. This was FYE or Best Buy, can't remember. Another original It that was either FYE or Best Buy, can't remember. Then we have the It Remake. We have another It Remake. And another It Remake. This was different region, I can't remember. Then we have It Chapter 2. All right, that takes us to all my Jaws steelbooks. We have the original on 4K. Jaws 2, this came from Zavi. Then we have another Jaws 2 on 4K. And then Jaws 3 from Zavi. And Jaws the Revenge from Zavi. Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Horrible movie, but cool steelbook. Jennifer's Body. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The Leprechaun Collection. I think this one is just 1 through 7. And then we have this Leprechaun Collection I got from Walmart that actually has returns in it, so that's cool. This is the Jack Black King Kong. Knock at the Cabin on 4K. Little Shop of Horrors. This one I got from FYE, I believe. The Lords of Salem. The Lost Boys. I think I got this from Craig way back in the day. And then we have The Lost Boys on 4K. And then I recently picked up this from Walmart, The Lost Boys Trilogy on Blu-ray. Mad God. Mandy. Megan on 4K. Another one of my favorite steelbooks, Misery. I picked this up off of eBay. I think it's a different region, but cool steelbook. The Mist on 4K. Love this steelbook. Mothra. The Mummy. A Nightmare on Elm Street. And another Nightmare on Elm Street I believe I got from Best Buy. The Nightmare on Elm Street remake, which I got from FYE. Night of the Living Dead, the original. Nope. Old. The original Pet Sematary on 4K. then Pet Sematary the remake, Phantasm, Poltergeist the original, Poltergeist the remake, Popcorn, cool steelbook, Predator. Next up, we have Prey. I'm so happy to have this steelbook. This was another one of those situations where when it came out, it was completely sold out at every single Best Buy. And I found a copy at a really far away Best Buy, went out there and got it. So yeah, so happy to have that. Prisoners of the Ghostland on 4K. Now we get into my Psycho steelbooks. This is Blu-ray. Then we have Psycho on 4K. And another Psycho on 4K. Then we have the original Purge movie. And A Quiet Place. All right, moving over to the other side. We have another steelbook for A Quiet Place. This is a 4K Mondo. Then we have A Quiet Place Part 2 on 4K. Rear Window on 4K. Requiem for a Dream on 4K. Return of the Living Dead. The Ring. Then we have another Ring with a slipcover on it. Pretty cool looking. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. Salem's Lot. Now we get into all my Saw steelbooks. We have the original. This is definitely one of my favorite steelbooks as well. Then we have Saw on 4K. Jigsaw. Spiral. And then we have a couple Saw collections here. This one, I believe, is 1 through Jigsaw. And then another one of those Walmart ones. I think Spiral's in this, but I know X isn't. Now we get into my Scream steelbooks. Another one I got from Craig. The first Scream steelbook I ever had. Absolutely love this one. And then we have Scream 1 on 4K. Scream 2 on 4K. Scream 3 on 4K. Then we have Scream 5 on 4K. And Scream 6 on 4K. 7. Sharknado, the first one. And then we have the Sharknado collection, all 6 films, I believe. I bought this at Best Buy back in the day, and this one goes for a lot of money now. Shaun of the Dead. The Shining, I think I got that from FYE. Then we have The Shining on 4K, cool steelbook. Doctor Sleep on 4K. Shutter Island on 4K. Skinamarink. Smile on 4K. The Spine of the Night. Taxi Driver. Terrifier. This steelbook goes for a lot of money. I'm glad I got it when I did. I think I picked this up from Walmart way back in the day, but this thing goes for like $200-300 on eBay. It's crazy. Then we have Terrifier 2. Now we get into my Texas Chainsaw Massacre steelbooks. This I bought from eBay years ago. Pretty sure it's a different region. And then another copy I believe I got from Best Buy. And then this one came from FYE, but all the original film. Next up we have The Thing on 4K. And then The Thing prequel. Tremors. Trick or Treat, I believe that was FYE. Tucker and Dale versus Evil, really cool steelbook. This came from Walmart. Unbreakable. Split. And Glass. Of course, we got to keep all 3 of these together. All right, I pulled the rest of the steelbooks out. We got one last stack to run through here. It was getting kind of tight down at the end, but we're going to go ahead now and get into my Universal Monster steelbooks. So first up, we have just a random copy of Creature from the Black Lagoon. I think I picked this up off of eBay years ago. Just love the look of it. But next up, we're going to get into all those Alex Ross Best Buy steelbooks we got back in the day. And still to this day, it bugs me so much that we never got a Phantom of the Opera to go with this set. I don't know why, but anyways, here's Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, The Wolfman, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. And the last ones here are 4K. Now, when they released the Universal Monster films to 4K, they put out a Volume 1 box set that had the first 4 films, and then they released a Volume 2 set later that had 5 through 8. And when we got the first set, they also released Steelbooks for them, but they never did for the second set. I don't know why, but anyways, we have Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and the last one here, the Invisible Man. Even though this matches the art, I had to get this from Zavi. For some reason, they didn't release this one in the US. Really strange how they do things. All right, finishing off here, we have Us, Van Helsing, Vertigo on 4K, Violent Night on 4K, War of the Worlds, Wrong Turn. Really love this steelbook. Then we have Two Young Frankensteins, You're Next, and the last one, Zombieland. All right, we have reached the last portion of my steelbook collection, Boutique. We got some Scream Factory steelbooks, some Shout Factory, and then a couple of Vestron up there, some Arrow steelbooks, and then I believe there's a Kino steelbook down there. So let's finish this off. All right, we're going to start up at the top here with the Vestrons. Really cool that Vestron decided to start releasing steelbooks in their line. So we have Maximum Overdrive, Little Monsters, Shivers, and we do have 2 more on the way. Next up are the Arrows. The first couple here actually come in slip boxes. We have 12 Monkeys, An American Werewolf in London, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I bought this from Craig back in the day, and he was so mad that he sold it, he had to find another one, and these are rare. They cost a pretty penny. Wild Things. Then we have Candyman, the original Carrie, Donnie Darko, the Driller Killer, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Hellraiser, Hellraiser 1 through 3, the original Hills Have Eyes, the original The Last House on the Left, Reanimator, RoboCop, The Thing, and Weird Science. And then the one and only Kino steelbook I have, Rawhead Rex. Don't know why they don't release more steelbooks. Definitely would be cool. All right, my Shout Factory steelbooks. First up, we have Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Really cool that these two match. Fargo, Natural Born Killers on 4K, Platoon, Point Break on 4K, Red Dawn on 4K, Transformers the movie, the animated one, the animated Transformers movie on 4K, and Weird, the Al Yankovic story. All right, we are going to end with the Scream Factory steelbooks. Definitely one of my favorite collections that I have. I remember back in the day when they first started releasing them, I wasn't really that interested. And then I noticed that Best Buy had the first 3 in store. So I decided to pick them up. And from there, I collected the whole set. I'm glad I did. These are really cool. I love the art. They all have matching spines. They are on Blu-ray. And some of these go for a lot of money. So let's go ahead and get started. In order of release, we have Escape from New York, The Fog, They Live, Assault on Precinct 13, Prince of Darkness, Army of Darkness, Life Force, The Howling, Halloween 2, and Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Definitely 2 of my favorites in this collection. Night of the Demons, The Thing, Piranha, Humanoids from the Deep, Galaxy of Terror, Forbidden World, Big Trouble in Little China, Slumber Party Massacre, Motel Hell, Pumpkinhead, My Bloody Valentine, and Battle Beyond the Stars. So that's it for that particular matching series. Now we're going to get into the rest of the Scream Factory Steelbooks, which are all 4K except for one, which I will point out. Some of these were Walmart exclusives, some were Best Buy, and some you could just get off of Amazon. So first up we have Child's Play, The Fog, Army of Darkness, Carrie, They Live, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, that's the Blu-ray, Pumpkinhead, The Blob, Willy's Wonderland, Darkman, and Creepshow. Well, there you have it. After over 5 years, I finally got off my ass and filmed a video of all my Steelbooks. I'm really sorry it took so long. And again, if you want to see any of these Steelbooks in more detail, just let me know down in the comments. But that'll do it for this video, part 2 of my complete movie collection series for 2024. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do for part 3, but I will get to that as soon as possible. But thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this Steelbook collection. What rare, cool Steelbooks do you have in your collection? And if you would, share the video around. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.